Hello everyone, this is Giovany and welcome to the Movie Canon, formerly known as Backyard Pictures. So everything else is going to be the same. It's still the same YouTube channel, same link, same Instagram page. The Movie Canon is the new name. I'm still doing the movie reviews, top lists, podcast style videos, and I'm also still doing the giveaways, the Funko Pops, digital copies, and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, I am doing a Funko Pop giveaway. I'm doing the Infinity Gauntlet Pop. And just like the other videos in the past, you have to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel, which is now the Movie Canon, and must have a mailing address within the United States. On top of that, just like the other videos that I've done, the podcasts, I've dropped some sound effects and you've identified them and you messaged me once you've identified them so that you can be eligible to win that particular prize or giveaway. In this video, I'm going to drop a few images, video clips, of all the Infinity Stones from Avengers Infinity War and all the keys from Ready Player One. So for you to be eligible to win this Funko Pop, you have to identify and find at least 5 Infinity Stones and at least 1 Ready Player One key. So I haven't decided if this video is going to be a 2-parter or a 3-parter, but I will let you know in the description how many items are going to be in each particular video, because I'm going to drop them throughout the whole section, the whole parter, the whole 2 or 3-parter, and you actually won't be able to actually win the prize until I've posted all the videos, either 2 or 3. But today, so to launch the Movie Canon video, the very first video here, and also my second annual, if I pick the Oscars segment video. So just like last year, this is basically my top films of the year, and just like the Academy Awards, they award or nominate the top performances, top screenplays, top direction, and whatnot. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Obviously, this is just my opinion. These are my choices, and I'm going to do the same thing they do by category, top 5, and then I'll pick one winner, and so on. So I'm doing that. So this is what this video is all about. And I'm actually being joined today by my cousin Bryan, although he's not in the shot, but he's right here.
Hey, what's up?
And I actually have other people with me in this room, but they're not in the shot. But there's 4 people in here right now. But so Bryan will be joining me. You'll hear him. You won't see him. You'll hear him. You'll see me. But it's me and Bryan. So I think that's going to wrap this part up. So let's get things started.
And here we go.
I'm going to kick it off with the worst films of 2018. Now, I must say that I did not watch every single movie in 2018. In fact, there was a few movies that I wanted to watch that are not going to make it to this list. Some of the movies like Destroyer, the Mary Poppins movie, I didn't watch that one, and the one with Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz. Do you know what the movie I'm talking about?
The Queen one?
Yeah, but what's the name of the movie? The Favorite. The Favorite. I didn't watch The Favorite, and some other movies. I mean, I did watch a lot of them, but those are some of the main ones that I was going to watch, but I just didn't get a chance to, so they won't be on this list. But I also try to avoid watching shitty movies. So of the ones that I've seen, these are my. This is my list for the worst films of 2018. I'm only going to select 3. And then I'll choose one, the queen of them all. Okay, so the list begins with my number 1 spot is not in a particular order, but the number 1 spot is Suspiria. Number 2 is The Happy Time Murders, and the number 3 is The Strangers Pray at Night. So those were the worst films of 2018 that I saw. Suspiria was boring as hell. I was bored to tears when I was watching it. It was 2.5 hours long, which felt like 2.5 days. I don't know what the fuck was going on in this movie. I mean, I figured out towards the end when there were some witches and they were dancing around, and I didn't really know what was going on, to be honest with you. All right, so the number 2 film was The Happy Time Murders with Melissa McCarthy. This is a comedy. It uses, the Jim Henson's puppets or whatever. It was supposed to be some hilarious murder mystery with Melissa McCarthy doing what she does best, be comical. And I was bored in this movie. Melissa McCarthy was trying way too hard in this film. The jokes didn't land at all. She likes to, for some reason, recycle her jokes. Like, I think I've heard the same type of jokes in other movies or like in other skits. And I didn't find it funny at all. The whole puppets living among us and killing and all this other crap, that wears off like within 5 minutes. Because I did like the first 5 minutes of the movie, because it was, the effect of like, oh shit, there's Jim Henson's puppets doing shit, doing lines and killing each other and all this other crap. But it just got boring. Even the mystery part, even the murder part, like, well, maybe that part might be good, but I didn't care. Not interested. And again, with the running time, this is a very short movie. It's like under 90 minutes, I think, maybe 88 minutes. It felt like a week. So, I mean, it's just bad. So the number 3 film that I talked about was The Strangers Pray at Night. The movie was fucking stupid as fuck. It wasn't scary. The main thing that I have a problem with that movie was all these characters. Now, we do expect characters to do stupid things in horror movies, but they took the cake in this movie. They just do things that it's like, why wouldn't you take a phone type of thing. It's like they got killed because they were being stupid. Like, anyone else would have figured something out and not even go to that area, not even leave, or not do anything at all to get their ass killed. It was just bad. And I liked the first one, so it was also kind of a disappointment as well, on top of it being just bad overall. So, of the 3 films that I selected as worst films of 2018, the one that's going to take the cake, the one that's going to be supreme of this, is The Happy Times Murders. I think that one was the worst of those 3. And I have no interest in ever hearing about it again. So we're going to move on to the next category. And the next category that I'm going to do is, again, has to do with bad films. This is just one film that I'm going to talk about, and that's the most disappointing film of 2018. It's its own category. It's by itself. And that's Solo, a Star Wars story. And this was a huge, huge disappointment for me, as a Star Wars fan. And even when they announced that they were going to do a Han Solo film, some people were saying, why are you making another Han Solo, or why are you making a Han Solo movie, an origin? And to me, it was like, well, I had faith, I guess, with Lucasfilm, with Disney. I think they would be able to do something with it, that it would be good, at least decent. And it was just bad. Bryan, I know you're a big Star Wars fan, so what were your thoughts on Solo Star Wars story? Just briefly.
I didn't like it, and when I first saw the trailers for it, I thought the main reason I wouldn't like it would be the actor playing Han Solo. But that was probably the best part of the movie. I actually liked his portrayal of young Han Solo. I did like the main villain. That guy looked really cool, his costume. Didn't say anything, so I really liked him until we found out I was a little girl. And I was like, okay, that's stupid.
So that killed it for you.
Yeah, and I think that story, or that would have been better that would have worked better as a game to me.
Okay.
If Disney would have invested a lot of money into developing this as a game, where the CGI is good and it's actually Harrison Ford, younger. Mm-hmm. That would have made, and especially if you watch this movie again, or if anybody hasn't seen it, if you watch the movie for the first time, and in your head think like, would this make a good video game? And I think it would. It would have.
I tried watching Solo recently because it was just released on Netflix, and I tried watching it. Just like, oh well, I didn't pay anything.
The lighting was really bad.
It's on there.
Scenes.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
The lighting was horrible.
Terrible.
The cinematography is just bad. It was like I can't even see what's going on, and I don't know. It was just bad. All right, so now we get to the best animated feature films. I didn't watch that many animated movies in 2018. I don't even think they released that many. They never really do, but I narrowed it down to 3. So this is an alphabetical order. So my list is the following. So we have Incredibles 2, which is a Pixar animation. And then we have Ralph Breaks the Internet. And then we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So all those 3 films were good, solid films, good, solid animated movies. But of those 3, I'm going to have to pick Ralph Breaks the Internet as the best animated feature film. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was it's an okay movie. It wasn't bad. But I didn't think it was groundbreaking. I didn't think it was a really great Spider-Man movie or a great comic book movie or even a great animated movie. I know a lot of people are praising it, calling it the best film of the year, best animated movie of the year. But I didn't think it was that good. Like, it was fine, but I didn't think it was great. Incredibles 2 was good, but it kind of let me down a little bit. I think they waited too long for a sequel for The Incredibles. The ending, the villain, she was kind of predictable. I kind of figured out who the villain was going to be. So I just liked the story a little bit more in Ralph Breaks the Internet. So it was a little bit more comical. It was a little bit more interesting, and I got a little bit of the Ready Player One vibe in it because there's a lot of these characters that keep popping up and stuff like that. I was just more entertained by it. I was more interested in it, and just on that alone, I'll say that it was the better film of 2018. So that's Ralph Breaks the Internet. Brian, how about you? Did you watch any of those animated movies?
No, I did not. I did
None
see
of them?
Incredibles, the first one, recently, just to recap so I can see the second one, but I haven't seen any of those. I do want to see the Spider-Man one. I obviously want to see the second Incredibles. Ralph Breaks the Internet, I'm not that interested in. The second one, because I saw the first one, it was okay. Do you think we've seen the last good Pixar movie, or do you think maybe the next Toy Story one's going to be really good?
I don't know. A lot of those Pixar executives are leaving, either for bad things or
Where did
for other
Lasseter
things.
go to? He went somewhere, right?
Oh,
John Lasseter?
he went to Skydance for Paramount. I think it's Paramount. It's another animation studio, but I think they're reconsidering that because there's a lot of backlash. So I don't know if he's even gonna do that now. I think he might be done. But 2 of the main ones, I forgot the new one that just left. I think it's Ulrich or Lee something. He just left, and then that Lasseter guy, he's been gone. So I mean, if there's any more leaving, I don't know.
To me, I started noticing the trend changing from Pixar making the higher quality movies over Disney animated movies when Brave came out and the Rapunzel movie. What was that one called?
Oh, Tangled.
Tangled, because that was Disney, but it seemed more like Pixar, and that's when for me it shifted.
Yeah, Brave wasn't.
I didn't care for it.
Wasn't that good. It just wasn't interesting. And then I saw Tangled, and I preferred that one.
Yeah.
So, who knows what's gonna happen with Pixar? But we've got Toy Story 4, and let's see what happens after that. But I guess we'll see. All right. So the next category is the best musical score. So I'm gonna pick 3 selections. These are my 3 favorites, and then I'll pick the one that I like the best. So we have, for Best Musical Score, we have Ben Salisbury and Jeff Barrow for Annihilation. We have Justin Hurwitz for First Man. And then we have Alan Silvestri for Ready Player One. And of those 3, my favorite was Ben Salisbury and Jeff Barrow in Annihilation. when you hear the musical score of this movie, it just gives you like this creepy, like it puts you on edge. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's kind of weird, and I kind of like it. And then when I hear it in the movie, it kind of gets stuck in my head for a while after I watch the movie, and I think that was done very well. So that was my favorite musical score of 2018. Do you recall any of those scores, Bryan?
Annihilation, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. So then you like that one. And so yeah, that was the best musical score of 2018.
I also really liked the Halloween score.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was really good.
Jacob, did you like the Halloween musical score?
Yeah. Movies like only I could really think of. She'll die.
All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Never mind.
All right, so the next category we have here is best cinematography, and 3 choices here. So here's my 3 favorites. So we have Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, we have Rob Hardy for Annihilation, and then we have Janusz Kaminski. I'm sure I butchered that name to death, and that's from Ready Player One. So the best cinematography of these 3 choices here, my favorite one was Rob Hardy's Annihilation. So that's the best cinematography, in my opinion, of 2018. It's a film that you should watch in highest definition as possible. It's beautiful. It was shot very well. And I thought it was the best one of the ones that I've seen this year. I mean, there's a lot of other movies this year that had great cinematography, but this is the one that stood out to me the most. How about you, Bryan?
I agree. I mean, the other 2, I like Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah.
This is last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Annihilation, I did see earlier in the year, so I mean, I was impressed with it, with the score, with the cinematography, with the directing, everything. And Ready Player One, of course, had everything working well too.
Right.
But I just recently saw Roma, and it stands out the most for me, the cinematography for that
So
one.
you would pick Roma?
I would probably pick Roma. But
Yeah.
Annihilation is a really close second.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's good. So now moving on to best visual effects. So these are going to be 5 picks. And there was a lot of movies with really good visual effects, so it was kind of hard to narrow it down, to be honest with you. But my choices are the following in alphabetical order, based on the title of the film. First one, best visual effect, is Aquaman, Avengers Infinity War,
Yep.
Black Panther, First Man, and Ready Player One. And my choice of these 5 is Avengers Infinity War. Just Thanos alone. That's all you really have to say. I mean, there's a lot of other special effects in Avengers Infinity War. And there's a lot of stuff going on in these other movies. Aquaman, underwater, the sharks with armor, and all this other crap. Black Panther, we have Wakanda, and all this other stuff. First Man, everything's basically CGI. Very few things in First Man are actually real stuff. And then Ready Player One, well, like the whole movie is like CGI, and it was supposed to look like an Avatar, and you dive into the story, and they're all CGI characters. So I thought those were really good. But yeah, Avengers Infinity War, Thanos, great special effect. I think it'll be remembered for the CGI and then obviously the character in the movie and just overall. So that was my choice. Bryan?
I agree with you. Easy, hands down, Infinity War had the best CGI. What? What's funny?
Why you look at me like you say that shit?
Because you're laughing.
Oh, fuck.
Which one did you think had the best CGI?
How about you, Alex, since you're...
Infinity War, right? Yeah.
No, Aquaman I thought was actually pretty good. I give him credit because the hair, I didn't even know it was
Yeah,
CGI.
that's right, the hair.
The CGI, the hair looks, I thought it was real. I thought it was like live action, his real hair. It's
all of
CGI.
it.
Yeah.
All CGI hair. So, I mean, that
Give him props.
takes some
But
time.
Aquaman did have some bad CGI scenes. I mean,
Yeah.
some scenes were really good, but some scenes were not.
Yeah, I mean, so did Infinity War. I mean, it did have some bad CGI.
Really?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Iron Man's suit looked really weird.
Yeah.
Some
Really?
scenes.
Yeah, and there was some other things. Some of the Black Order characters. Sometimes they look really kind of cartoony.
Finished.
Yeah, sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Are you talking about the two minor characters from that order? The Dark Order, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the female.
Well, yeah, her,
Yeah,
and
they
then
look really bad.
yeah, her, and then the other guy, the big one.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, it did have some, but it was
Yeah.
spectacular.
No, yeah,
They were just
Yeah, that's
polishing
what,
up
like-
on Thanos. pretty
And
much.
I didn't see Last Man.
First Man.
Oh, sorry, First Man.
Total
The opposite.
Last Woman. I didn't
First
see that.
Man.
How was that?
Which one?
Last Man. How was it?
The First
Man. But
It was alright. It was kind of slow, but it was alright. All right, so moving on.
so it was like Gravity, kind of, where everything's like CG.
Kind of. All right. All right, so the next category, moving on to the acting category. So we have Best Supporting Actress. These are going to be 5 selections. And then I'll pick my choice here. Okay, so we got Amy Adams, Vice. Emily Blunt, A Quiet Place. Claire Foy, First Man. Millie Shapiro, Hereditary. And Michelle Yeoh for Crazy Rich Asians. I don't think. Okay, so I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video, or maybe I didn't, that this year was kind of weak. They just weren't that many good movies in 2018 compared to 2017 or even 2016. So I kind of struggle a little bit to find these better performances of the ones that I've seen, because I don't want to put anything in there that I hadn't seen the performance for, like seen the movie. So these are my 5 choices of the movies that I've seen. And of these, I'm going to pick Emily Blunt, A Quiet Place, as the best performance of those 5 choices that I just talked about. She would have to express a lot of, her emotions, because in the movie, if she makes any noise, she'll be pretty much die. So I thought that was done very well, and I especially like Emily Blunt and A Quiet Place. How about you, Brian?
I'm gonna go with Emily Blunt. I think she was the quietest.
The Quietest?
Yeah. So I'll give it to her. I only saw that one and Hereditary, so.
Of
I
other
see
ones.
it. Yeah. But Emily Blunt for sure.
Cool.
She can act.
All right, moving on to the next category. So we got Best Supporting Actor. I am picking 5 choices here. So from alphabetical order, we have Mahershala Ali for Green Book, Timothy Chalamet for Beautiful Boy, Adam Driver, Black Klansman, Sam Elliott, A Star Is Born, and Sam Rockwell in Vice. And my choice, the favorite performance that I have here for this category is Mahershala Ali for Green Book. He won the Oscar already for Best Supporting Actor for Moonlight. I think it's Moonlight. And I didn't really understand why he even got nominated for an Oscar, because I don't think his performance was really that good for him to get nominated and definitely not win. But he actually did deserve, or I'm pretty sure he'll get nominated for an Oscar, and I think he might actually win too. But I think this performance was a lot better than his Oscar-winning performance in that movie, in Green Book. So I really liked his performance, and there was some really strong performances in this category, not like the last category, but this one was my favorite. So how about you, Brian? How many of these performances have you seen, of the ones that I mentioned?
I didn't see any of them except for Black Klansman. And I mean, I don't think he's gonna win it for that one. I don't think Adam Driver's gonna win an Oscar for Black Klansman.
No, I don't know if he'll even get nominated, but definitely not
What did you
win
think
one.
of Sam Rockwell as George W. Bush?
I liked him.
I haven't seen Vice, but I want to see it.
I liked him. I
I'm
think
ashamed to say I haven't seen it, but yeah, I haven't seen it.
I thought he was more than just an impersonation. Like, I actually believed he was Bush. He looked like him, which was kind of easy to do, I suppose. But he really, really sounded like him. He has the mannerisms, the way he moved and talked, and he obviously sounded like him. And he was good. All right, so the next category is the best actress in a leading role category. I only selected 4 instead of the 5. I just didn't think that there was another performance that I really liked. There were some performances that I didn't see, as I mentioned, like Nicole Kidman and Destroyer and some other performances. So I can't really put her there since I didn't watch the movie. But so we got 4 selections here. So we have Yalitza Aparicio for Roma. We have Glenn Close for The Wife. Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born. And Toni Collette for Hereditary. And my choice of these 4 is going to be Toni Collette for Hereditary. She just acts completely insane in this movie. And there's one particular scene in Hereditary, in the dinner scene, that she just goes like bonkers. She just goes completely crazy, and it's more of an emotional craziness, not like she's psychotic or anything like that. But I mean, ultimately, it was a good movie overall. But she definitely carried this movie. She is the main lead in this movie, and she definitely carried it. And she did a great, amazing job in it. So that was my choice for Best Actress. Bryan, your thoughts?
I thought the leading role for Roma was very authentic, but I still agree with you that Toni Collette was the superior actress in the bunch, for sure. I think Toni Collette was the best.
Yeah, because the girl from Roma, like I said, she had like this like raw emotion, like raw way of like portraying her character. And I mean, she is, Mexican girl or whatever, but you just kind of dive into her performance, like you really believe that like Alfonso Cuarón is just really recording her for like 2 hours because it was just done well like that.